When do you stop training your dog with treats? Never. Dogs deserve to get paid. Imagine going to work and not getting a paycheck. You don't want to be that manager where your dog comes into work like, I hate my job. Linda's the worst. You want to be that manager where your dog comes into work like, hell yeah, I love working at this company. I'm treated well and fairly and I love working here. So yes, you can start randomizing your dog's rewards, but you should never stop rewarding them. And occasionally give them a really big, awesome, fun reward. Give them that spot bonus, baby. Heel. Heel. Sit. Heel. Down. Heel. If you have a dog that gets really excited on leash and tries to lunge to other people and dogs to say hello, this is for you. A big key to teaching your dog leash manners is keeping their expectations low. If your dog is never allowed to greet other dogs or humans on leash, it will not expect to greet dogs or humans on leash. Basically, if you allow your dog to say hello to everyone and everything, you condition it to have an excited mindset when it sees other people or dogs. To get a passive mindset, you need a dog that doesn't expect anything exciting to happen. This will also help build your dog's focus and engagement on you because all the good fun things are going to be coming from you, not other dogs or people. If you let your dog get really excited on leash and greet a bunch of people and dogs, then how do you expect it to know that it's just supposed to calmly walk by some people and some dogs? Go pee-pee. It sounds like you could benefit from teaching your dog how to potty on command. This is how you do it. Take your dog out on a leash. Pick a word you're going to use as the potty command. I use potty potty. Say the command very intentionally so you know your dog heard it, and then give it 3 to 5 minutes to potty. If it doesn't potty in that time window, bring it back inside, and if it's a puppy, bring it back inside and put it in its crate. Try again in 15 to 30 minutes. If your dog successfully potties, throw a party, give it its favorite treat, affection, etc., and then it gets freedom in the home. Once your dog is successfully pottying in that initial time window, begin to shorten it in like 30-second to 1 minute increments. Eventually, you're going to get down to like 10 to 15 seconds, and your dog will be pottying on command. Remember to use a leash. This is how working dogs are trained to potty on command. Trust me, it works. I've done this with all of my dogs. For my dog, it basically means just empty whatever's in your bladder. This is very helpful for people who live in apartments or have to deal with cold weather. Good luck. What would happen if you just dropped your dog's leash? He's not in command. Rudder break. I'm gonna pretend like my shoe is untied and just drop his leash and see what he does. He's very into the environment right now. Let's see. Oh no, my shoe. Well, the point of that is when you're teaching loose leash walking is the first step is to just get your dog to a place where it just wants to be with you, that it just naturally cares about where you are relative to itself. If you don't have that first step in place, you're going to be working against that the entire time. If your dog struggles with leash walking, there's a good chance your dog just doesn't understand how the leash works. So step 1, teach your dog how the leash works. This is how I do it. We've got Rudder here. He's on a leash. I'm going to give him some tension, say yes, and then give him food. Yes, good boy. Yes, good boy. What you're doing is creating a positive association when they feel pressure on the leash. What you're looking for is when the dog feels pressure, it looks back at you for a treat. Consistency is key. This helps shape the leash to become a line of communication for guidance rather than frustration. Essentially, teach your dog to give into leash pressure to get good things rather than go against it and fight it. If your dog is barrier or fence reactive, here's a game to play with them. Before you start this game, make sure your dog knows that the word yes equals food coming. All right, let's go. What you want to do is let your dog look at the trigger, mark that yes, and then throw food to reward. Yes! It's important that your dog sees the trigger. You don't just want to distract your dog from looking at it. I like to throw the food a little bit so your dog starts using its nose. Getting their nose going and getting them leading with scent can make them become more curious, which is what you want. It's important to be proactive and consistent with this game. And set your dog up for success. Don't start them at a distance that you know they're going to fail. Good luck! One way to help build impulse control is by giving your dog opportunities to fulfill that impulse. Rudder is a Springer Spaniel and was bred to flush birds. It would be unfair to always tell him he can't or expect those impulses to just go away. Always saying no is just going to cause frustration. Plus, it gives you the opportunity to practice waiting and recalling.
What is the first command you want to teach your puppy? It's name! It's name! You want to teach it its name as a command, aka this word, your name, means give me your attention. Having strong name recognition will set a good foundation for so much more in your puppy's future. Teach it just like you would a command. Think of it as a command. Build it up over time and proof it using distance, durations, and distractions. Whatever you do, don't dilute your puppy's name. Use it with intention and meaning, and you can use nicknames or fun stuff for other things. I have a couple videos in my training playlist that go over the details of teaching name recognition, aka teaching name as a command. Good luck! Yee!
Teaching loose leash walking may be easier than you think. Every time your dog looks at you, give it food. In the beginning, you need to be consistent with this, giving food every time your dog proactively offers engagement. This means you're going to be giving a lot of treats, so it's helpful to use a meal. What you're doing is shaping behavior. I dropped the treat here, which is totally fine because it gives him an opportunity to offer that behavior again. You can see he looked down at the Cheetos bag and thought, no, I'm gonna look up at mom because I may get a treat. Same thing here, he goes ahead and then he stops himself. He's like, hey, if I stay with mom and look up at her, I'm gonna get food. Eventually what you'll get is a dog that naturally wants to stay close to you and offer engagement. Once your dog understands the game, you can do what I'm doing here, and I'm extending the length of time before he gets his reward. Then begin randomizing your rewards. I recommend starting this inside. Environmental neutrality is a huge component of having a reliable off-leash dog. A dog that is easily overstimulated by wildlife, other dogs, or other people is not ready to be off-leash. This is because you're not setting them up for success. I believe it's better to build neutrality than constantly rely on obedience to manage your dog.
My recall goals. Response after one calm verbal cue. Consistent, focused return. A dog that is happy and excited to come back. No reliance on tools. Does not boomerang. Have I met my goals?
Good boy, bud.
What are your goals?
Good boy.
We are coming down to Rudder's favorite place and we're going to practice some recall. Rudder, come. Good boy.
Good boy. Yes.
Now let's do one closer to the water.
Break. Rudder, come. Good boy. Good dog. Yes. Break. Now we can go on the phone.
If your dog boomerangs its recall, meaning that it comes back to you but then runs right back off, this is what you want to do. Get a mixture of high value rewards. Step 1, recall your dog to you and give it a reward. Come. Yes. Step 2, continuously reward your dog for staying with you and randomize the rewards to keep it interesting until you release it with whatever your release command is. I use break. You don't want to create a pattern. If you always give your dog 4 rewards for staying with you, it's going to take those 4 and then run off. So keep it random. Also, you don't have to always give rewards as food. They could come back to you, get a food reward, and then you take out a tug toy and you start playing tug. All you want to do is build value in staying in your perimeter instead of building value in whatever they're running off to. Environmental neutrality is a huge dogs deserve to get paid. A dog that is not getting